Okay, so there's two more pieces of theory that I want to explain to you. These are the things that professors are going to assume that you're doing on your own. So I'm going to give you a little better idea of what is required of you moving forward. So the first thing would be is, well, what if we want to calculate the voltage at a certain resistor? So here is our series, current plus or minus our resistors, V1, V2, V3. Well, as we indicated before, the current doesn't change in the system. That stays constant. So once you calculate your REQ of these, you essentially have your R. Well, I'm going to provide you your volts, check. So then now you can calculate what your I is. So to determine what the voltage would be, you would just take the resistance of whatever that is and multiply it times I. What you're going to realize is that it's going to start with, let's just say, potentially 12 volts. And every time it hits a resistor, the voltage is going to drop until it's 0, and it needs to be complete. That's why I love me some math, okay? So V1 plus V2 plus V3 equals V total. So I'd try one of those out. Second thing is that we talked about there's only two combinations, and there still is, series and parallel. However, you can put those together, and this would be an example of what I'm referring to. So you still have a whole complete, okay? However, you first have the series, and you see it transitions into the parallel, and then back into the series. So what you need to do, you need to be a two-step process, and you need to section out just the parallel. Figure out what the REQ is of the parallel, then you have one number, and that would be the same equivalent if you had in a series. So you would take the REQ of the parallel, let's just say that's 100 ohms, and then let's just say this is 200, 100, and 300, you'd have 600 ohms as an equivalent resistance. So you start with the REQ of parallel, you move into series, and then finally you have the REQ of the combined different types of circuits. Okay? I think the last thing I will say is you need to practice. That's the only way you guys are getting better.